Today, I'll develop the story of the two most successful royal concubines in the Joseon dynasty, Changbin clan of King Jungjong and King Gojong's Sunan Hwangbi clan. Unlike other royal concubines, they are asleep in a royal graveyard. She is asleep in a place that Hongshik geographers call the propitious site for a grave. The host is the story of Changbin An, the royal concubine of King Jungjong. The National Cemetery has a royal tomb-class tomb in the Cemetery of Four Presidents. It's the tomb of Changbin An clan. Three presidents, Lee Seung-man, Park Jung-hee, and Kim Dae-jung, are located on the ridge of An clan. President Kim Young-sam was buried on another ridge because there was no space. Seeing that the three presidents are located on the ridge of An clan, it seems to be a real good place. First, Changbin An was buried. Secondly, President Lee Seung-man on the right. Third, President Park Jung-hee, and fourth President Kim Dae-jung on the left. The third location is the highest. An clan became the concubine of King Jungjong when she was 20 years old, and it is said that she served her superiors well behind the power due to her humble family. She was quiet and virtuous, so she gained the trust of her superiors. Thanks to that trust, her biological grandson became king, King Seonjo, who was a symbol of incompetence, and all kings since then were her descendants. During her lifetime, she was so young level, but thanks to her descendants, she was promoted to the Bin, which was highest ranked among royal concubines. Would it be the last winner of all concubines, since all the descendants become queens and she is in the same graveyard as the four presidents? In other words, the grave where Changbin An clan is buried is the same mountain range where Lee Seung-man, Park Jung-hee, and Kim Dae-jung presidents are buried. However, President Kim Young-sam has a different mountain range. Coincidentally, the three presidential wives are all second wives. It's a bit like Changbin An clan, in that they aren't the first wife. This is the layout of Changbin An's graveyard. A tomb of Changbin An clan, which is frequented by people interested in Hongshou geography, is in the Seoul National Cemetery. The following is the story of King Gojong's royal concubine, Sunan Hwangbi clan. After Empress Myeongseong's death, she was actually a queen. King Gojong wanted to make the clan queen, but due to King Sukjong's strict decree that concubines should not be appointed as queens, Gojong mimicked the Chinese imperial family and gave her the title of Hwangbi. She entered the palace at the age of 8, and after being noticed by the king, she was a royal concubine at the age of 32. But she was hated by Empress Myeongseong, so she was kicked out of the palace, and she was again admitted at the age of 42. 10 years after Empress Myeongseong incident. It's an opinion, but I'm angry at the behavior of King Gojong. In just 5 days after the queen was brutally murdered and burned by the Japanese warrior, I can't understand how King Gojong even thought of bringing in his concubine rather than settle the situation. Therefore, even when the country was in front of the wind, it was very pathetic to have more than 10 concubines. Moreover, King Gojong had a low eye for women, so he fell in love with clan's beauty. Since she rose from a court lady to a royal concubine, and her son became the heir of King Sunjong, success does not mean that she was successful or happy. She sent her son, born at the age of 41, to Japan as a hostage and did not see him until he died. So I wonder if a normal life would be happier. It's young Hui-won, where Sunan Hwangbi is buried. Because she is the birth mother of the king, is called Won, not the Myo. The shrine where the ancestral Tabora is enshrined is Togan-gung and is in Chilgung Shrine.